time of year when everybody seems to want to focus on what is our vision. It's a new year and it's a time for often a new vision. So Rano and I love to create a couple's vision, a relationship vision, and this is how we do it.
One of the most important things to do is get aligned with each other, because if you've got this buddy with you that's going towards the same goals, aspirations, desires, it's really important to get them on board. And not only get them on board, or you on board with each other, but know what's actually going on. Know what's important. Know what's meaningful to her, what's meaningful to me, what's meaningful to each other, and what do we actually want to focus on? Do we want to just be in the same place we are at the end of the year, or do we actually want to improve ourselves as a couple, have more things in our lives, maybe a new house, maybe a baby, maybe this? What are your goals?
So one of the ways that we do this is through a very classic tool called a vision board. I'm sure you have done 1 or 2 or 3 or 1,000 of them in your day. But this is what makes it a little bit more specific to how we roll with our manifestations and visions. And you're about to show a little show and tell here?
Yeah, there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Sometimes we'll cut out things from magazines and we'll paste things up. And I like to do drawings, and so this is mine for my physical health.
This is personal board.
This is my personal board. But a lot of times we'll draw them together. Here's one for the house that we're manifesting and that we want to create. This is around our house, and we cut some things out and we put them in here. So when we're working on where we want to live, our home, our lifestyle, this is what we'll look at and this is what we'll use. So this is just an example. You can do it all sorts of different ways. You can do videos, you can do it in Photoshop or in Canva or all sorts of
yeah, you can get super creative. Now, there's a couple of categories that we're going to suggest that you use for your coupleship, because you can have an individual board, and I would actually recommend that, because some of the goals, while they may serve your partnership, because if you are working on yourself and bringing that back to your relationship, you will have more empowered action.
Yes, have your own, have one together. We like to put them up on the wall. Sierra's will be over here, mine will be over here, ours will be together. We love to call that thing that's together is your North Star, your relationship North Star. And one of the principles that we live by is relationship is our North Star. And that helps guide us and it helps inform the individual and what's best for me, what's best for her, and then what's best for us as a couple from that place of relationship is your North Star.
So we're going to give you a couple categories, and then we're going to talk about how we use, once we've created our vision board, to actually activate the dreams and desires into fruition.
So here comes the categories. Number 1, or in any order that you would like to have it, is adventure and travel. Now, depending on where you're at in your life, travel may not be something that you're into, but adventure may be. And when we say travel, it could be to different countries, it could be down the road, but some sort of thing that gets you out of your normal experience of life and into some sort of new adventure or travel.
Like, for example, Rano and I last year came up with the half-day date day, or half-day vacay, date day. And we happened to actually be in another city. We got stuck in the city because there was some weather and whatnot where we were headed. But we're like, we could do this anywhere, where you just take a half day, you find something new and interesting and exciting that you've never done wherever you are, and you create a mini vacay out of the adventure.
Okay, another category, number 2, again in any order, is your home and family life. And so how do you want your surroundings to be? How does it want to feel? What are the activities that are going on in your home life? What are all those different aspects? How do you want them to be? How have they been? And what's the vision for that coming forward?
So as Rano showed you ours, that's a home that we are in co-creation around manifesting, because it serves our lifestyle, it serves our business visions, it serves our comfort, our luxury, our desires, our play. It serves a lot of categories. So that might be something, or it might be you just need to remodel your kitchen so you can have better nourishment for each other.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Decorations, your pets, like all of that, that's around your home and your
Color
family
palettes,
life.
new bedspread, new bed, whatever it is.
All right, so the next one is communication and connection. This is a big one that sometimes goes by the wayside with many couples, is their connection and their ability to communicate with one another effectively. We were just connecting with a couple friend of ours the other night, and they were saying, we don't really have anything that we focus on or do. We just, try to get along and try to, so we don't have any like special ways of doing it. But as they went through it and shared all the ways that I'm like, well, that's a special way that you do it. That's a unique way that you do it. So figure out how you want to connect and communicate with one another and put that up on your vision board. Put that up on as a way that you want to be with one another.
Yeah, an example of that is, are you able or willing or wanting to have regular check-in sessions? Do you want a weekly couples meeting? Is there a way that you want to change your language about speaking to each other? Like maybe you've been a little bit more complainy, or maybe in a make wrong pattern. How can you clean up your language and stand for each other's greatness more often? That can go on your vision board.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Another one is personal growth and support. And that can also be relational growth and support. But what are you doing to better yourself for this relationship? And what kind of support do you have around you? What kind of support might you need to make this the best year yet? What are the categories and things in that specifically?
Mm-hmm.
Anything you'd add to that one?
Yeah, so for us, we just went to a really cool gathering for New Year's, and we're super inspired because a lot of the people that are in that group are into health and wellness and biohacking. And it's very inspiring because they're all sharing different vitamins and health practices and, cool gadgets and machinery. And I'm into that. I want to put more of that into our growth and our evolution, because we want to really make this year a year where we focus on our bodies and what we put in our bodies and all sorts of things. So our commitment is that, but it's also how do we hang out more with this group of people? So that's the kind of growth that we want to go towards, one of many, but that is a major point in our vision this year.
Yeah. All right. Another category is romance and intimacy. This, again, is another one that sometimes goes by the wayside with many, many couples because you get busy with the kids or the job or the career or the life or whatever's going on. And then your romance and the intimacy kind of suffers. So what are the things in your romance and intimacy that you want to make sure that you prioritize and put forward this year?
So for us, we need better on-ramps to longer term intimacy and our sexuality. And dear friends of ours reminded us of one of our own tools that we teach. He's like,
it's always helpful.
It's always helpful. It's definitely the reason we teach, so you all can remind us back. But it's a tool called 5 minutes of anything. And it's literally just a 5-minute practice that we can give and receive. So it ends up being 10 to 12 minutes total. And my desire is to bring that back into our regular every day if possible, but at least 3 to 5 times a week minimally, so that we can have a better on-ramp, or as a friend of mine likes to call, a little mini seduction opportunities. Because usually when we just do a little bit in a physical way with 5 minutes of anything physically for us, it usually always turns into something more.
Yeah, so how are we going to implement that? How are we going to put it on our vision board? How are we going to remind ourselves? And we'll get into some of those details as we go further.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another one is financial security and abundance. Like, where are your goals? Where are you moving? What are you doing as a couple? How are you getting there? What are the things that you want around your finances, around your abundance and your wealth? Like, are you creating it, or are you just getting by and trying to make ends meet? Is that how you always want to be, or do you actually want to move the needle forward and have something for the future?
Mm-hmm. So last year we hired a budget coach, and then things got a little crazy because unfortunately my dad got sick and then ended up passing. But we started a really good framework for putting ourselves into a regular practice of tracking our expenses and knowing on a personal level. We do it for our business, but we haven't really given a lot of attention to our personal. So we're going to pick that back up and, dive into a regular practice to get our numbers in the spreadsheets.
Because it helps when you know what your numbers are, because then you can go out and increase the amount of money that you have coming in to cover those numbers and have more than you had before.
Yeah, or clean up the places that you might be leaking money, like Amazon shopping or whatever, that you want to button up a bit to put towards something more meaningful.
All right, 4 more categories. Thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah.
And make sure you write these
Hopefully
down as
this
you
is
go.
helpful for you. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, so the next one is social life and community.
Mm-hmm.
And Sierra already mentioned that this new group of people that we want to hang out with more and be around more, you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And we tend to hang out with a lot of couples. And so who are the people that you're hanging out with? Are they bringing you up? Are they up-leveling you? Are you helping each other be better human beings and have a better life? Or are they dragging you down? Like, what are you doing in your social life? What's your community look like? How are they supporting you in your relationship and your love and your care with each other?
So maybe one of your goals and desires is, if your friend group is not doing it for you, or not, as Rano just suggested, lifting you up or pulling you up higher or getting you more inspired, maybe one of your opportunities this year is to find a group of friends, couples, colleagues, whoever that will do that, will provide that, and will inspire you to more greatness.
Yeah, and if you're looking for couples community, check out Eden World. We've got a lot of amazing couples that are supporting each other and being the best they can be in relationship. And you know, our statistics for the couples that stay together and have great relationships is really high compared to those that don't have a supportive community. So, all right, the next one is contribution and purpose. So this is a big one, especially for you gentlemen out there. And what I found with my wife as well, that like, she's a very purpose-driven person, so much more in some ways than I am. And but when either of us aren't on purpose or having a purpose to move towards, we kind of are like, limp in our life.
Limp and lazy.
Limp and lazy. And then we wonder
Lethargic.
Lethargic. We wonder why, you know, we're more depressed, or we're not as happy about things.
Well, they say an object in motion tends to stay in motion. So the key is to get in motion and then stay in motion, and don't let it get stopped, because then it's that much harder to get going again.
Yeah, so maybe it's you know, volunteering time at a local charity, or, you know, supporting others in the community. What is your purpose? What are the things that you're doing to really move that forward and be in more contribution and purpose for those around you?
Yeah, get involved somewhere, somehow, some way. Maybe support a friend in their business, or join a women's circle or a men's circle, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, so the next category is health and wellness. And health and wellness is a huge one. It's very big, and it's super important. Without your health, you don't have your wealth. You don't have your ability to move about the cabin, to feel good in your body.
Yeah, without your health, you don't have
nothing.
You got nothing.
It was so apparent when we were supporting her father, of like, wow, just the simple things that we take for granted every day, just even getting up to get a glass of water and drinking that water, that without your health, that can even be a challenge. Ouch, wow, that's so simple.
So what kind of wellness, that can be a sovereign place, but in relationship, it's very easy to kind of get side-railed. If somebody's on a cleanse and the other person's not,
is the sugarholic.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't go so well, or you're feeling like you want to get up and go for more walks, and your partner is, you know, feeling lethargic and lazy. How can you create a sweet spot for the two of you that fits that? Maybe there's a better time that you would be willing to go for a walk together. Maybe there's a special type of place that you would want to walk. You know,
maybe you want to get more rest, so choosing when you both go to bed and get up in the morning and have morning routines or evening routines.
Or for us, we are practicing intermittent phone fasting, making sure that we do not have our phones during certain hours where it distracts us, it makes us tired, and it definitely kills our sex life.
Totally. And we're just like, not so much fun at all.
No.
All right, so last and certainly not least, this is a huge one. It's celebration and gratitude. And so how to put this up on your vision board is, how are you going to celebrate? How are you going to be grateful throughout the year? I've been told, and I've experienced, and I've watched it with all of my very successful friends, the ones that are successful in their relationships, successful in their business. They are so freaking grateful all the time for even the littlest things. And I finally took notice of that, and I was like, wow, I'm not as grateful as I could be about all the amazing things in my life, for our health, for our relationship, for our family, for our friends. Like, how can I be more grateful? How can you be more grateful? Because gratitude is an energy that breathes more amazingness. They say appreciation appreciates, and gratitude and appreciation are a big part of that.
So good. Yeah. So those are the categories that we like to play with. And I know at the beginning of this video, we promised you how we work our vision board, but this video is getting a little long. So we're going to do part two. All right. See you in the next video.